The tip shit is getting out of control.
The tip shit? What do you mean?
That every single fucking person that I go to now turns to me a screen to tip them in a convenience store, in a gas station, and not only that, now in restaurants where you eat in Miami Beach, every single restaurant here automatically includes the tip. And then they give you the thing, and then it says, do you want to tip more, 2, 5, or 7% on the screen? It's even more, over the normal 20% that they automatically add.
My wife is a weirdly generous tipper. We've had this discussion before where, like, even if they include the service charge, she'll still want to tip 20%. So, like, she'll want to do 20% service charge and then another 20%. And it's like, but that doesn't make sense. There's a reason they're just adding it, right? Like, they're already getting tipped, you know?
Yeah, and I'm like that too. Like, where I would always pick the 7% option. Like, I'd always like, oh yeah, but like at some point, I'm starting to feel like, bro, why the fuck am I tipping this guy who's just sitting here?
You know, the one that gets me is when you go to a froyo place, like a frozen yogurt, like ice cream place, and it's not even, like, it's self-serve. You know, you get the bowl and make your own cup of frozen yogurt, and then the person at the front counter, who's just stood there the entire time, wants a tip. And I just don't, like, to me, tipping was there's, like, the philosophy of tipping is twofold. One is, the person is directly giving you service.
Yes.
Right. So if it's like, you know, a waiter at a restaurant, or if it's like a cleaner at a hotel room, whatever it is. And two, I think part of the philosophy of tipping is that the person's not paid very well. Like, they don't have a good hourly wage. Right. And that's one of the reasons they don't tip. And, you know, in Europe, they don't tip because there's no such thing as tipped minimum wage. They just all make a decent enough wage. And so if basically both of those conditions aren't satisfied, I don't see why you would tip someone.
Yeah,
you know?
it's ridiculous.
Seems weird to me.
Oh. It's not. I don't know
But
why
anyway.
you're laughing. It's not funny. It's insane and ridiculous and
Look,
inappropriate.
okay, it's only funny because you probably just eat out too much, Destiny. How about you just cook at home? You ever thought about that? All right.
No, I don't have time for that bullshit. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Also,
just
I
buy.
heard Biden was thinking of doing this. Please.
Oh shit.
Getting rid of random charges. Show me prices. I just want to show me the price. I don't like that there's like 15 additional fucking charges on every single fucking thing. I just started noticing it more, and I'm like, what the what does this cost? Like in an airport, you'll pay like a fucking booking fee, a service fee, a tax fee, an airport cleaning fee, fucking like, you know, it's like, what the fuck am I paying for? Same thing on Airbnb. There's like 25 different, show me the fucking price. Oh my God.
I saw a funny, I don't know if this was real, but I saw, it's so absurd it almost has to be a joke, but I saw a sign at some Starbucks franchise that was like, we will now be charging for no ice. Like, if you ask not to put ice in your drink, they'll charge like an extra $1 or something.
Yeah, dude, I don't even know, man. It's insane. What is a service charge? Aren't I paying for a service? Like, isn't that what the whole fucking bill is? Like, I don't know, dude.
I mean, I think, I want to say somebody, I think it was in regards to maybe Airbnb or something like that, doing that, where it's like you get hit with all these crazy, like, what's the opposite of upfront? Like, back end fees that you're not aware of when you book the place.
No.
And I think somebody had mentioned Australia has rules about that. How, like, Australia has rules that basically say that you have to give the all-in price before someone actually gives you their money. And so if you VPN to Australia and book an Airbnb, you can actually see all the back end fees up front.
Yeah.
And I don't know how that affects the market in Australia. I mean, I assume it's fine. I don't think anybody likes hidden fees. You know, it's it's kind of like the baggage fees for airlines. Like, I think most people would probably just rather, like, I think it'd probably be better if everything was just baked into the ticket price and you didn't have like these weird disparate fees for bags and shit.
I bet my JetBlue ticket probably costs a little bit more because like Wi-Fi is free on the plane, but I'm okay with that. Just do that.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't know. I mean, part of that's in response to inflation. Like, people want to keep the headline price as low as possible. So they'll, like, you see like gas stations, they'll have cash price, but it'll be like little tiny, like, oh yes, this is the cash price, and it's cheaper than everyone pays with a debit card and credit card nowadays.
Oh, yeah. By the way, that's just illegal. I'm 99% sure, or not illegal, but I'm almost positive that it violates all of your cardholder or your payment processor agreements if you charge people more to use a credit card. or if you discount for cash. So like if you've got a store, people do this all the time.
Oh,
They're
really?
shameless. Yeah. If they're like, we have a 2% service fee if you use Visa or MasterCard, or if you use a credit card, that is a violation of the code. You're not allowed to do that if you accept credit cards, but people just fucking do it anyway.
Yeah, that's like super normal.
Yes.
A lot of places do that. I didn't know that that was against like
It is
terms
against
of
their
service.
terms. If you report them, they'll lose their ability to process those cards. Not that you should, but like,
Hell yeah. Get to report all
it's
these
one of the
small
reasons why,
businesses.
like, it's funny when Europeans come to the United States because they use VAT, right? So when they go to the store and it says $9, they take it, they go to the cash register and they check out and it's $9. But in the United States, all of our taxes are added after the price. So it's like, yeah, it's stupid.
Yeah, that's also pretty dumb as well. Like not having the, just the tax included in the price. I'm not sure if that's like, I wonder if part of that is just that we have such a localized system of taxation. Like it might be easier for stores in a more like national tax system to just include the price. But if you're dealing with like if Walmart has stores all over the country and you have to deal with all the different local and state and like federal taxes, maybe it's a little bit more complicated, but
Nah, I don't believe that shit. Not even for a microsecond. Fuck
I mean,
these
obviously,
losers.
like Walmart can probably handle themselves, right? Like they could probably figure out how to do it.
I feel like a VAT is really complicated to calculate, isn't it? How do you know how much value you're adding at each stage of production? Like if you send me a car frame and I put like 2 tires on it, did I really add value to the car? Like how much do you even calculate? How do they calculate it? I'm really super curious.
Well, it's just a tax on the price that you pay at each stage, right? So
Is
like
it?
yeah, so like if you're gonna make electric components and you buy, I don't know, iron ore to process, you're gonna pay a VAT on the price of the ore, and then you're gonna charge a price for the components, and then the people buying it from you are gonna pay a price for the retail price of the components, and so on and so forth until you finally get to a sort of end user of a product.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah. So it's just the value add is just whatever people charge at each stage of the production.
Gotcha. Wait, everybody's saying for businesses, everybody keeps saying businesses don't pay VAT.
Well, so it's a little complicated. So it's kind of like when people say that like workers actually pay all of the payroll tax because it's just passed on to workers in the form of lower wages. But the truth is that if you really did a study on it, and there's different studies as to like who absorbs what taxes and how, that some proportion of the payroll tax is actually absorbed by businesses, and similar with the VAT, like 100% of the VAT is not always passed on to the end consumer. In theory, that is how it works, but it's not. It's in practice. Oftentimes, there's some I don't know, like the opposite of leakage. Like there's some sort of tax absorption from from the businesses, but. I mean, it doesn't really matter. Like the VAT is just a really effective way to raise revenue and fund cool programs.
I'm sorry. I just jerked you around to like 15 different topics. What'd you actually come here to discuss?